Hello, and welcome to the Disc Dungeon, where we put you on to musics and melodies in the deepest, darkest dungeons of your computer disc. I'm your co-host, Joe Dove, and with me as always,
Julian Valencia. And if there's one thing we love talking about, it's music.
welcome back to the Disc Dungeon.
Take two.
For the first time ever, we had a practice run.
We had a practice run.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call this one. This is the episode, Practice Run.
Hey guys, so this is episode number 17 of Disc Dungeon.
This is actually unbeknownst to us, episode Juneteenth. Not because we didn't know what the day it was. However, we actually put each other on to very powerful African-American artists that changed or made statements in the music industry that lingered for some time. But let's have you get into Juneteenth.
Well, guys, if you don't know, honoring Juneteenth, in 1863, January 1st, President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, but slavery continued. Not until 1865, June 19th, in Texas, enslaved Africans learned of the Civil War end and celebrated their emancipation. December 6th, though, the 13th Amendment of the Constitution was ratified, officially abolishing slavery. And of course, in 2020, we're still fighting racial injustice today.
That was from the ACLU, and that was broadcasted by my cousin. And believe it or not my African-American cousin. It's just, this is an issue that's dear to everyone as we're all experiencing these issues together, and it's unfair. And later on in the episode, we're going to get into some other injustices that are springing up because these movements, these protests have gotten to the governing bodies and heads of state, and people are making a difference in policing. However, some other injustices do remain. And like I said, we're going to get into that later. But right now,
well, as always, guys, we start with Let Me Put You On. Last week, I put you on to
Tyler, the Creator.
Okay, and you put me on to Isaac Hayes.
Hot Butter Soul.
Yes, Hot Butter Soul is the name of the album.
Yep.
Hot Butter Soul is about a 6-song album, but it's really 4 songs.
Right.
One of those songs is about 20 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
This is back in the 70s.
Yep, when they were just jamming out.
Yeah, so this was a jam, but it was a soulful jam. Hot Butter Soul, definitely a great name for it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely
suits it very well. Hot Butter Soul to me, instrumentationally, dynamically, was great. You know, I loved it. It took me on a journey, is what I kept telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that. Even in an album that's 4 songs long, even the songs were long, but there was a journey there. So you know, all in all, I really enjoyed it. I think that the only thing is that, you know, if I wouldn't pick this up and necessarily listen to it, you know what I mean, on my own. Mm-hmm. But if this came on, I would jam to it.
Gotcha.
You know, so all in all, my rating is 9 because the instrumentation, the vocalization were dope. It was sparse. It wasn't like overpowering. He wasn't singing the whole time, but when he did, it was tasteful, and he's got a great voice.
Right.
And you were telling me more about Isaac as well, right? You know,
yeah, but Isaac Hayes definitely
music
fits into the Freedom, which is the title of this episode. Because let me put you on. Isaac Hayes was the music legend of the 70s. Excuse me. I got put onto Isaac Hayes because he had a soul riff in this album, Walk On By, that has been sampled by artists that you probably are familiar with today. I'm talking Biggie Smalls. I'm talking Tupac. I'm talking Hoobaphonic. Beyonce, yep. Mm-hmm. So he's probably, from what I'm told, the legend is that this song is sampled 100 times and even covered just as much. Mm. And like I said, that guitar riff from Walk On By has been sampled endlessly, and it's still such a badass riff that it's, something that you always turn back to because it's got so much power in it.
Yeah.
And that's his thing, power, black power. He was part of a movement to change and mold the image of African Americans. He was part of the movement that changed black actors and musicians in the world and absolutely Hollywood. His music was part of blaxploitation, though, but it changed the way we saw the character in media. No longer like a sidekick or just a funny character off in the distance or some small...
the protagonist.
Yeah, they brought him up to the front. They put him as the protagonist. And, he wrote the theme song to Shaft, one of the most beloved and badass African-American heroes to date.
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson revitalized the role and just lived in that imagery of Shaft without even trying. Mm-hmm. But that's all because of Isaac Hayes, and he was a powerful force in the black movement. And like I said, he elevated the black character to be up front and center. And if you don't take him seriously, we're going to have a problem.
You don't want a problem.
So you put me on to Tyler, the Creator.
Yes.
Excellent song, album. What's the name of the album, though?
The name of the album was...
Do, take it back.
Oh, it didn't come up here.
There we go. The Corner? The Creator.
No, Igor.
Igor. So Igor was dope. It was amalgamation of different genres, which is what I really liked. And I definitely give the production value a 9 because I could just get a little taste. Tyler was like, you like this, don't you? Well, you ready for this?
Oh, what is that?
This is music.
Okay.
I just giving you a little taste of music.
I don't know if you guys appreciate that gesture.
I don't know. but I can tell you, certainly, if you like the genres of R&B, of hip hop, of a little bit of rock, he had a lot of instrumentals on there, which I really enjoyed. It's not just 100% synthesized, which I like synthesized too. I'm not gonna lie, 80s baby, but he had powerful lines. Powerful lines, and he brought forth an amalgamation of sounds in this one album that gave me everything that I like. So this would fit into something I would listen to normally, even though I haven't stumbled upon him in my own time. I'm glad you put me on to him because he kind of reminds me of Tricky, who also sampled Isaac Hayes. And it'd be funny if I come in to his full repertoire and find that same riff somewhere. I might. It's possible.
But I have a question for you. If you had to put this album in a genre, what would it be?
Oh, because it's like a mixture of everything.
What would it be?
I would put him in. I would put him in R&B or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bring that topic up because he was actually in the news lately, trending.
Number one.
He just won a Grammy.
Oh, dope.
Right, and he's been very outspoken about the fact that about winning a Grammy under the urban category. And that, honestly, it's another racist term. Just, he compared it to the N-word, to the N-word as well. And,
well, his brand goes beyond just one genre, so he shouldn't be classified as urban.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the point. To me, if I had to label this would be sort of a pop album.
I could see that.
It's a pop album to me in a way, and for him, like he said in his verbiage, he was like, for me not to be put on a mainstream category just because I'm black, and there's other black men who look like me, and that's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this was another moment of serendipity where we both recommended these artists to each other who are, they voice their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They've
They've elevated. They're trying to
elevate their
currently
platform.
elevating the platform, but also
Yeah.
elevating the genre of music that they do.
Yeah.
Don't put us in urban. Put us in
Yeah.
pop, because our music is just as catchy. This album was, like I said, it was great. So he got a full 9 from me. His, like I said, the production value, lyrics, and the genre are all something that fit into the bill of what I listen to. So,
Of course.
like I said, he gave me a little taste of everything I enjoy. So I definitely would put him into the mainstream category myself. So full 9 on me.
Well, guys, our next section is music saved my life.
So what's going on? How was your week? Everything good?
So it was funny when you asked me that. I don't know why. my week.
It's like a therapy session.
Yeah. My week was good, man. I mean, it's been a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good challenging that I feel running this business, and
what is the name of that business?
The business is called Audios.
Audios.
Guys, if you haven't heard, if this is the first time tuning in, I have a company called Audios. I work with Joel, and I work with Henry. The three of us are Audios.
The trios of Audios.
Yes, we are the founders. We essentially, it's a production company. We do artist development. This is our location, Audios, in Williamsburg.
Brooklyn.
So if you guys want to come out, if you're an artist who's looking to get recording done, you need a custom beat, you need a cover art done. We're kind of full spectrum when it comes to releasing music, producing music, post production. So hit us up on at madebyaudios.com, made by audio with an S.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I ask you how's it going, and the reason why I bring Audios into the fray, is because as we get into the music saved my life section, there was a distant voice from the great beyond across the pond, from Joel from Made by Audios, who suggested that we keep things as they are, and we don't change the tune of this section.
The name, because last episode we were pondering the idea of changing the name of this section to recently played. We thought it gave us a broader spectrum, but let us know what you think. For now, we're going to keep it as Music Saved My Life.
So music for me this week has been crazy, as I absorbed other responsibilities at my company. I've been running around like crazy trying to get certain aspects of the business handled. I'm able to do so not with ease, but with vigor as I jump into what's needed, and I try to make things happen in a timely manner. It doesn't always work out that way, but some of the music that I listen to help me get through it all, aside from some of the things that just kind of get me going. I went back to Isaac Hayes and listened to Hot Butter Soul, the Shaft theme, a lot of his music, because, if I'm half black, I look like it. And I grew up raised by a black family, so I always confide and resign myself with that side of my life. And I've been troubled lately because, there's been a lot of protests, and, there's people that try to negatively influence these protests and turn them violent just because they're trying to put a damper on the entire movement and what we're fighting for. And the protests have been heard, and certain states like California and New York have made and passed bills that put more of a restriction on police. There's some stronger police reforms that were passed, and of course these guys don't like that. And it's horrific to see this day and age that people are getting lynched. There's been 5 lynchings. They're trying to classify these hangings, that's what a lynching is, as a suicide, and I totally disagree with that. It's 100% lynching. And I'm sure the coroner's reports are going to confide with that, but we'll see. But I had to go back and get my mind off of these atrocities and listen to a powerful stance that we can overcome these injustices as we are a powerful people. And we've been through it. And these weak groups will be stopped. As we a bad mother? Let me stop.
He really wanted to put that in there.
I did.
Really?
But we won't stop until we get our justice. And that's what's going to happen. So now.
Cool, man. That was intense.
It was. I feel like pissed off because I really want to like physically do something to stop it. But, so I can't just hang out with every person that I know. Like, there's a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, like, be mindful. Watch your surroundings. If you go to a protest, watch the people around you. Go in a group. Don't go alone. Some of the victims of these lynchings were at protests and disappeared. So make sure that you have some type of buddy system and be aware of the people around you because you never know who's really a friend and not. So stay woke. And what I mean is keep your eyes open about the people around you. I don't mean it like a corny way, believe it or not.
I mean, it worked. It worked.
Yeah,
it worked.
yeah.
Guys, this next section is called
Behind the Beat.
Guys, so as we were talking about before, Made by Audios is a company that produces music. So we reserved this section to just talk about some underground projects, things in the making that are happening at the moment within the week. And right now, if you go to our Instagram page at madebyaudios.com, we've been promoting the artists that we work with. And we work with a lot of Black artists.
That's right.
So I'm talking about like 90% of the artists.
Oh, the musicians. With. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah.
I'm just a reminder.
He's Black too.
Yeah.
So,
A number one.
I mean,
Duke
and that's
of New
not
York.
to say anything. It's just that we felt, at first we were thinking about, okay, what should we call this episode? And in reality, we want to promote all the artists that we work with. It just so happens that we work with a lot of Black, gay artists, and it's just testament to us that we're on the right path, as a company.
You're an inclusive company that's taking the stand in a positive direction towards equality.
But of course, we're definitely shining the light on our Black artists right now. We've promoted Cara Z, Kyle Sheriff, and Patricia Patrine music, and she's the three of them. These are amazing artists. They've all grown with us, without us. They're doing their own thing. They work with us, and in one way or another, we've learned lessons from them as well through this process. So subscribe to the page. We'll be promoting every artist every few days. You'll see a post from Audios. So keep your eyes open for that,
and keep your ears open because you're going to give us a wonderful dance and taste of said music. You're gonna go
exactly. So
maybe not the hand thing.
Maybe not. So we definitely want to include more music in this episode. That's some of the commentary we've been getting.
Yep.
So that's what we'll do. We have 4 different instrumentals that we're working on. One of them has vocals, and these are just this is just to give you an idea of what the creative process is like. Because these are just 4 ideas of many that make the cut, and a lot of them just don't.
Yep.
A lot of ideas that just don't. They never make the cut.
This is another one of my favorite things. I love music, and seeing it come to fruition is so cool. I always thought engineering, you needed this like giant mixer, and then like all the little dials and knobs to go.
Yeah, right.
And then you're like, just hit R, and then hit R, and then hit the space bar, and I was like, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. No, that's not it, guys. There's more to it. But
well, I mean, it's hilarious because when people, I'm always thrilled when somebody comes here and they love their product, and sometimes they ask me like, how do you do it? And I'm just like, honestly, man, I hit some buttons.
Much more than that. You're a music producer.
I hope for the best.
I'm just going eeny, meeny.
So, anyways, guys, I got 4 beats.
Yeah.
I do a lot of reggaeton, so you're gonna hear some of that. And I grew up in New York, so hip hop is like in my blood.
Oh yeah, injected deep. Dope. Is that you?
That is me,
That
yes.
is you. Okay, I thought so. It's like that voice sounds sultry familiar.
Sultry familiar?
Sultry familiar.
All right, so this is another one, guys. A little more of that reggaeton vibe.
Man, if you guys aren't listening to us on YouTube, you're missing out on my hand movements and the hips. My hips don't lie.
Oh my God, I'm done with you.
I gotta brighten it up a little bit. It's a very heavy episode.
This is true.
Yeah.
Again, guys, comment on the music. Tell me what you guys like. The first instrumental. I codenamed it Nicole. The second one is codenamed Gotham.
Ooh, like Batman.
This one is codenamed Mila.
Almost sounds like you're drifting away in that one.
Perpetually
Yeah.
drifting away.
Perpetually drifting. I like it. Definitely love hearing the tunes.
All
Keep
right.
it going. Keep it going.
And then the last one we got is a different type of vibe.
Oh, that one gets you moving.
Yeah, cool.
That was fun.
That's the general gist of my style, at least, is to get you moving.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, my hands got going.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hips too. I love it. I love it. And I think it's one of the cornerstones of the show is to, bring forward some of the stuff not that you're working on, but some of the artists and let people hear what you're working on. Because, when that time comes and these people are and you are like untouchable, it's going to be like, oh shit, I remember when that guy was doing that podcast. And now that podcast is $100 million show. Come on, Spotify.
Got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, a lot of notes to take.
Cool, man. Well, this last segment, as always. Yo, you say it. I know you want to say it. Go.
Bring you tricks of the keys.
Folks, we got a fun one for you. I gotta go back. I wasn't alive, but there is a man that played music, man, cowbell. There's a man named Van Morrison who sang a lovely song, a sonnet, if you will. And our Tricks of the Key song is Brown Eyed Girl. And I hope you're not playing this song to a lovely young lady that you're trying to court or your daughter, especially your daughter. Because number one, he didn't really like the song. He didn't think it was one of his bests. And, it's not just a random stance of a love song. It's originally played and named My Brown Skinned Girl. That's the original title. Did you know that? I bet you didn't. And that was in the 60s, a huge controversy because interracial couples were a huge issue in the 60s, and that caused a lot of controversy. And he was chained by the studio to play something more poppy and less controversial. So he turned it into a song about sex. The blend whim of the studio imagery for image sake, he changed it, and he still didn't allow it to go without controversy. So, he actually had the lyric, down in the hollow, playing a new game, our hearts are thumping, to the explicit making love in the long grass, the original lyric is running and stomping in the long grass, but it's originally making love in the long green grass behind the stadium with you. So this is totally like, let me just pull you in and lay you down, my brown skinned girl. So that's a big one. I didn't think it kind of fits in with everything because he was trying to break boundaries, sort of like Hayes, 10 years earlier with this song. And, they shot that down because they knew they would have to Pat Boone it up. By brown skin girl, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't know who Pat Boone is, that's another one you got to go back to. Do you know who Pat Boone is?
Brown skin girl.
Can you imagine Pat Boone?
Sha la la la
Sha la 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 da. Anyway, this was a moment that could have been a catalyst for the early acceptance of interracial couples. I am being a biracial child myself. I'm a later product of the success of such said movements. But I found it totally interesting that, originally this was supposed to be about a interracial relationship. And that he still got a little to the studio by throwing the tidbits of sex that do remain in the original master of this record. So very fun song. It's been a great episode.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Yeah.
That was very informative.
It was. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Imagine it was brown skin girl.
Oh, man, that would have been crazy. That would have opened the door a lot sooner, I think. We might have had this stuff happen in the early 2000s instead of now. Maybe there'd been some cohesive spiritual joining rather than this separation and distraction with...
All right,
I
think this is where I interject.
I'm going to interject before you start going crazy.
Thank you, guys. Episode 17. It was a
Freedom.
blast. Thank you, guys.
Take care.